Okay. Very good morning and afternoon and evening. Welcome to our today's class. We are going to have week five now, and we did started a study of consciousness. Is a very important topic for many individuals who are struggling and who have a great purpose in life or who wants to set up a great purpose of their life. Um, if you, I'm live on the Zoom and also on my Facebook page. This is online lifelong studies circle. Um, and last week we did study about the evolution of consciousness, and the topic we did study was there are seven major discoveries in consciousness. Um, and the topic of consciousness is directly linked in our today's world in seven uh, dimensions, according to Dr. David Hawking. And these seven dimensions, these seven sectors, these seven areas in our current world are, we did learn and study two areas. Um, if you know what were the two areas, if you can remind me, let me remind you that the number one area we learn about the animals, that from animals we touch the portals of consciousness, the animals and the bird, or organisms. So uh, all these creations, creatures, they we touch the consciousness from them. We can feel that consciousness. The second area, the second discovery in consciousness, where we can feel consciousness, where we can uh, think about in deeper sense about consciousness, is the notion of love. That the love is such a miraculous element, that from love we feel our God, our Allah, our divine power, our um, super beliefs or supernatural forces. And today we will uh, learn about leadership. That leadership is about not really related to particular with the politics. Um, Although many leadership comes from politics or revolve around the area of politics, but the leadership in the sense that uh, that the great influential people in many countries, in many culture, in many regions, uh, they were praised by millions of people. They have and they had fellowship uh, of millions of people. They are popular within people, within their countries, and also internationally as well. And they are at the moment in uh, current world, many people they inspired by, let's say, many leaders in Europe, many leaders of America, many leaders of in Middle East, many leaders in South Asia, many leaders in Central Asia, uh, including Japan. So, of course, the leadership is a very personal choice. Uh, One leader can be objected by many people. Many people don't like certain leaders. Many people likes certain leaders. Uh, but I'm talking about those. leaders uh, who have the highest impact on the societies. You know what I'm talking about? Where they change the course of the country, of the nation's destiny. Um, in terms of our um, areas such as in England, Winston Churchill, he's one of the greatest leader. In India, Mahatma Gandhi, he was one of the very great leader. Nelson Mandela from Africa was a great leader. Mikhail Gorbachev uh, from Russia, or ex-Soviet Union, he was a great leader. Um, if we go in Pakistan, the country where I originally from, um, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who was a founder of Pakistan, he was one of a great leader. In contemporary politics, Imran Khan, um, he has a germs of become a great leader. But at the moment, he's not in a mainstream successful so far because of many reasons. But he has guts of become a great leader, national and international. But he has to rule still next 5, 10, 20 years of Pakistan. Then we will see what the level of leadership he 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 will do. At the moment, he's not active in government, so that's why I cannot comment on his leadership. Um, in China, the president of China, um, they have also a great leadership skills as well. And there are so many people. If you see the list from history, um, Abraham Lincoln, Benjamin Franklin, Susan Anthony, the General Anthony, Martin, Winston Churchill, Martin Luther King, Reagan, Nelson Mandela, Oprah, um, and there are hundreds of people we can inspire with the as a leader. Um, and we proud of them. We often refer their biography to the people. But I believe that many people who have done something leading the nations and the world um, is from they mostly done from the spiritual point of view. And they are very great leader. They were very great leader when people were witnessing that. I will recommend one of the greatest book of 100 top influential people of the humanity. That book by Michael Hart. If you remember that book, I have uh, in my um, library. So let me let me find that book for you, and then we can a little bit done this. So sorry. If you see here, this book is um, 100 a ranking of the most influential person in history. So this book will also tell you top 100 people from the history and Number one is Prophet Muhammad. May Allah be pleased with him, and um, he was and he is the number one in the list. Jesus Christ, Siddharth Gautama Buddha, and many people in science, philosophy, politics, sociology, psychology, all are here. But here in the book which we are going to study here, in on a society level, that these society level leadership mostly belongs to war and in the country. You know that when the people they are in war, and when the countries are in fighting with other nations, other country, and the leader of the countries, many people think that they are great people, especially the Winston Churchill, when England was totally collapsed, and it he England lost the most of the areas in Second World War. The Winston Churchill revived that whole thing, and but if you ask me my personal thing, personal opinion, 1 second, yeah, you can put that. So I personally do not value much to people who or leaders who fought in the war for the countries, um, such as Napoleon, such as um, um, Hitler, such as Stalin for in Russia, so Soviet Union, uh, George W. Bush. They basically they were involved in mass massacre via wars in other countries and in their own countries. Their own countries were affected very badly. So I do not rate them as such. It's my personal opinion in terms of leadership. Yes, if I can relate them, I can admire them, or I can refer their work if they have done something in education sector, in economy development, um, in science and technology, in philosophy, in spirituality, in anthropology. Yeah, they must deserve appreciation. Um, but people, majority in all over the world, they do um, admire their heroes, especially the leaders who have won in the war. Uh, so, but let's see how we can see this, how we can take it, how we can read it in the text message. So, um, okay, no problem. So let's start our reading for today, and I'm going to do this read for you. So, and the book I have chosen is already, the map of the consciousness. The map of the consciousness is a great book written by Dr. David Hawkins, um, and we learn a lot of things. So let's start our reading for today, and it is about the societal leadership. That's number three element of the seven discoveries from the consciousness, which we are reading. So he says the high energy fields in societal leadership are rare, but recent historical example give evidence their power to overcome seemingly impossible societal divides and to usher in major breakthroughs by peaceful means rather than force. Force through its insistence that the end justifies the means, sells out freedom for expediency. Force offers quick, easy solution. In power, the means and the ends are the same, and its end requires greater maturity, discipline, and patience to brought to fruition. So that's overall talking about. But the people who are not in power, um, they are more have great leadership skills, and they have inspired the world, in my opinion. However, people who are in power, unless if they do not have moral authority in significant level, that's um, I will not rate them as a big and great leader of the world. But let's continue. So, Navedia, are you there to read the next page? Okay. I will continue to read until the video will come back to join us. So it further says that the great leader inspires us to have faith and confidence because of the power of their absolute integrity and alignment with inviolate principles. Such figures understand that you cannot compromise principle and still retain your power. Such as the Winston Churchill, uh, he calibrates as 510, never needed to use force with British people. Gandhi, he calibrates 760. Hmm. It's a it's the highest level on consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins. He defeated the British Empire without raising a hand in anger. Nelson Mandela, he calibrates 505, underwent a profound inner transformation during his 27 years in prison under apprehend from tribal fighter to a unifying humanistic visionary who inaugurated the first democracy in South Africa. Then Mikhail Gorbachev, he calibrates 500, brought about total revolution in the largest political monolith in the world without firing a shot in only a few short years through his inspiration and vision. Um, and there are so many other people, like I mentioned earlier, uh, Imran Khan from Pakistan, uh, founding fathers of America, 300 years ago. So they were great uh, leaders in a different society. So and let me continue to read as well. One of the characteristic of the force is arrogance. Power is characterized by humility. Humility is one of the great feature of all leaders. Force is pompous. It has all answer. Power is unassuming. Like Stalin, Stalin who was a Soviet Union socialist leader who strutted military supremacy, has gone down in history as criminal. In contrast to the humble Mikhail Gorbachev, who wore a plain suit and easily admitted to faults, was awarded a Nobel Prize, Peace Prize as well, to Mikhail Gorbachev. Despite error or defects to greatness is recognized worldwide as a composite of strength, character traits, and the virtues as exemplified by the leaders in various fields of human endeavor. And that calibrates for 462, 700. 760. That's great. Um, so that is the calibration of greatness of Mikhail Gorbachev. Okay, and if you see on your on your screen, there are a lot of great leaders mentioned by Dr. Stephen, uh, by Dr. David Hawkins. And that's the last paragraph. I would ask Javelia if you can
Yeah,
read this last paragraph.
yeah. Um, Lower levels of consciousness routinely attack great leaders. Historically, all presidents, especially during time of war, Abraham Lincoln, for example, have been subjected to critical attack, extremes of vilification, or even assassin, assassination, assassin, association, and have have that to go through agonizing moral cru- cru- crucible with
Crucibles.
crucible crucibles
Yeah.
such as traumas, painful decision, whether to restore, whether to resort to the atomic bomb and to end and the World War II. His decision calibrates at 475. It was a difficult situation of triage, having to weigh the moral impact of killing 180,000 civilians in order to prevent the estimated death of 6 or 7 million people.
Yeah, it's a great reading. If you see that, that is one of lower levels of consciousness. He's talking about some of the leaders, especially the president of America. His name was Truman, and he ordered to drop the atomic bomb on Japan. And he's mentioning that it was a very painful decision for him, which kills 180,000 people in Japan, in Hiroshima, Nagasaki. And he had a lower level of consciousness. Of course, um, I believe any leader who has in killing of other nation for the name of war or for the name of some big cause, um, it's very difficult to rate higher on conscious level. Um, but our society have been designed to praise those warriors type of leaders. Um, but I believe the leaders who never ordered for the fight or picked up the weapons against other, and they spoke with the words, they with the great ethics, morality, are the greatest leader in society. So from leadership, we also uh, know or discover the consciousness, and that's the number three element in discover. Number seven, three discovery of the conscious. So next week, next Sunday, we will continue to learn the fourth discovery, which is a realism, which is very important topic. Uh, that the fourth uh, discovery in consciousness. We will continue to read this consciousness. So thank you very much for joining me. If you have any question, and you can answer the question in the comment, such as what do you think which makes the great leader in your opinion, which things, uh, which feature or which elements make anyone a nation leader or international leader? So you can answer below. Thank you very much, and I will see you next Sunday.
Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you.